Hey there, my fellow lunatics, and welcome to Dakon's Madhouse.
Hey there, lunatics. Since I recently released a video on the Wild Warden build, I figured it'd be appropriate to also take a look at the pets themselves and just give them a general ranking on which pets I think will help you out the most as you're exploring throughout the caves. So first, we have got the Arcane Symbiote. And I think I'm going to put this one... Man, I think I want to put this one into A tier because it's limited in its use. It's only good for magic users, but for magic users, it is really, really good. You can even use this if you're a summoner, even though it's not ideal for summoner builds. I think that the mana regeneration abilities that it has, the general boosts that it has, are really helpful as it buffs the player and just really makes magic a much more viable build. Next, we've got the Eerie, which we are also putting into A tier for very similar reasons as the Arcane Symbiote. The Eerie is summoner focused and really is only good for helping summoners. However, it is by far the best in slot for a summoner build. If you are a summoner, there's absolutely no reason not to take the Eerie as your pet. The slimes. Ooh, the slimes. Starting with the orange slime, I think I'm going to put this one into C tier, and I might as well just go ahead and put the purple slime and Slime Junior as well into the same area, as they all essentially have roughly the same stats, the same abilities, and they're at about the same in power level. They're decent, they're good early game pets, and I don't mind them, especially if you are melee focused or if you are like the Wild Warden build, can do really well with these slime pets. But for most people, the slime pets are just the weaker of all of the melee pets, with a couple of exceptions. One exception is the Magma Slime, which I'm putting into B tier, as it's got a burn damage that really buffs it up to that next level and makes it much more useful. In fact, I would say it's probably the best of all of the potential slimes. And then we have got the blue slime, which I am throwing into D tier because the blue slime is terrible. It is just like all the other slimes, except its main unique ability focuses around slippery, and slippery is just a kind of useless effect. So don't really worry about the blue slime. If you get one, great, you've got one. Just stick it on a pet tree and ignore it. Next up, we have got the Pheromoth, which I'm also going to put into A tier, as it is an excellent pet for ranged users. And while other kind of builds can use it, it's really best in slot if you're ranged. I think that the boost to ranged damage and the dodge chance that this pet gives offers very unique and symbiotic kind of buffs that work really well when you are playing with ranged builds, as a lot of ranged gear has dodge options in it as well. The Subterrier. Now, I think this one's hard. It's tough to put between S tier or A tier. I think I'm going to go ahead and throw it into A tier just because it does fall off a little bit as you get further in the game. It has really good melee damage. It can stun enemies, which is really helpful during the early game, especially if you're playing on hard mode. And I just overall think that it's a great crowd control kind of pet. The Electropest actually is almost identical to the Subterrier in every way, except it also has a radiation-based AoE ability, which is why I'm going to actually put it into S tier. I think that it is the best of all of the melee pets. It's fast, it does a lot of damage, it has a generic little AoE that can do even more damage, and it helps with its stunning abilities and overall just keeping enemies off of you. So during the early game, you want to get your hands on an Electropest because you can get it before the Great Wall drops. And that's another reason why it's even better. And the Snuggly Grade, this one's tough because I feel like it's either a B tier or a C tier. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it into B tier because it is strong. It does a really good job of defending you. It's magic based, which is, I guess, good. It gives you, you know, a decent chance to regain mana on hit. It attacks things. It's not just a passive, it buffs you pet like the symbiote is. The problem with it is that you get it at the end of the game. It's a passage pet. And because of that, I feel like you'll already have the arcane symbiote and probably just won't use it. So this pet will spend more time as decoration than it will in actual use case. But when you do use the Snuggly grade, it's good. It's almost as strong as like the Subterrier. It's does decent damage. It does a good job in defending you and keeping enemies off of you. And when you're a mage, that's really useful. It's just its buffs aren't as good as the arcane symbiote buffs, considering when you're going to get this pet. That's the only reason I don't rank it any higher. The Owl Lux, with its very strange little image that I have here for some reason, is going right into S tier, as it is the best generic pet. No matter what your build is, the Owl Lux has something for you. It's going to buff you whether you're melee, ranged, magic, whatever. You'll find something useful with the Owl Lux. So you cannot go wrong with this pet. The Fan Hair, I'm also going to go ahead and put into B tier because it is a good ranged pet, but it's not a great ranged pet. When you don't have a lot of pets that are buffing you and you are playing as a melee user, or even if you're playing as a ranged user, this pet can be really helpful for exploring the general wilds. Unfortunately, it's not the best pet against bosses. It has this piercing ability that used to be really, really good because it could hit a boss 2 or 3 times because of their hitbox size. But recently, with some changes and nerfs, that is no longer the case. And even with piercing, this thing's only going to hit the boss once. And that decreases its overall usefulness. It's still really, really good for general exploring, as it can take out multiple enemies at the same time. I really like that ability from it. It's just its damage kind of falls off a little, and it really doesn't do well as you get later in the game and have to deal with harder and harder bosses. And finally, our last pet is the Embertail, and this one I am throwing into S tier. It is the best ranged pet in the game. The only thing that sucks about it is that its damage over time that it does is burn based, which means that there are a couple of bosses that it's not as effective against. Malagaz and Igneous, this cat will not do as well against either one of those bosses. But any other boss in the game, this pet is amazing. It has excellent ranged damage, and it has that burn AoE effect that does extra damage overall, which really, really helps it. And I have found that I've used this pet as far as the end game. If you don't want a pet that buffs you and you want something that's going to be aggressive, you're going to want to probably use the Embertail. It is an amazing, amazing pet. And that's all the pets we've got right now in the game. Short and sweet, I think, everybody. Which pet do you prefer to use? Please leave a comment below and let me know. If you haven't already, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. And if you really want to support the channel, go ahead and grab a membership. Your membership is what really helps me keep on going and doing what I love to do and provide these videos for all of you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay crazy, everyone.